I'm here with a new video, and I'm going to talk about my top 10 must-watch TV shows. So I'm a bit of a TV addict, and I've actually compiled an entire list of all the TV shows that I've ever watched. Granted, I haven't finished all of them. Some of them I just lost track of, but the list is nonetheless still more than 40 shows long. So just give you an idea of how much TV I've watched. But yeah, I've just got a list of 10 shows, which is a pretty even mix between comedy and drama, major network and cable. So yeah, if you want a list as to what shows you should start watching, then keep on watching. So first off, I want to say that this list isn't ranked in any way, just because I already had enough trouble choosing 10 shows out of the 40 that if I actually had to rank them, I might actually implode out of pure indecision. But yeah, so the first one I wanted to talk about is Friends. So this is a pretty old school show. It's like a classic sitcom, and essentially it's based in the 90s, and it follows a group of friends, Monica Geller, Ross Geller, Phoebe Buffay, Joey, Chandler Bing, and Rachel Green. So yeah, it's all based in New York, and yeah, there's always a debate whether it's Friends versus Seinfeld, which one is the best, which one is the original actual friend-based sitcom. But for me, I've always liked Friends better. I just never really got into Seinfeld that much. Friends is legitimately one of my all-time favorite TV shows. Even though I'm not ranking this would probably be pretty high up there. I pretty much grew up with this sitcom, and I have the entire box set, and I've seriously rewatched the entire series, all 10 seasons, at least 3 times over. Not even kidding. It doesn't get old at all. So if you've never heard of Friends, if you've never watched it before, if you've never watched it in its entirety, then go do it, because literally it's a laugh out loud episode every single episode. So I definitely recommend this TV show. Okay, next one, Sherlock. So this literally is so amazing. So if you've never heard of Sherlock Holmes before in your entire life, then I don't know where you've been. But essentially it's a British adaptation of the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. And yeah, so I don't think the entire series covers each and every story in Sherlock Holmes in the original books, but they do definitely cover most of it, and the acting in this is amazing. If you watch Sherlock, you will understand everyone's fandom with Benedict Cumberbatch. He is amazing, and Martin Freeman is in it too. The show also features one of my favorite TV villains ever, Moriarty, and it's just so intense. Sherlock is so brilliant, and as you just watch his brain work, you're just how is that even humanly possible? And it's just, every episode is mind-blowing, so definitely check that out. Next show that I'm going to talk about is Downton Abbey. So this is broadcasted by BBC or PBS Masterpiece for US watchers. So this is definitely a more nuanced show. It's not in-your-face drama every single episode. There's definitely a lot more social trends going on. It's set in the early 1900s, so the series starts, I think, right when the Titanic sinks. That's the starting of the pilot episode, and it's definitely really interesting to see how this family in Britain, in old school Britain, evolves as historical events happen and as just modern times start to roll out. They follow this elite British family who lives literally in a castle, and it follows the family upstairs and the people downstairs, which are the servants that serve the family. And yeah, it's just like kind of like a parallel running throughout the entire show of like the elite versus the working class. And yeah, and there's also a little bit of humor in this, if you can pick up on it, and it's just overall a solid show, and there's a reason why it's very well accoladed. So show I'm going to talk about is Mad Men. Essentially the premise is that it's set in the 1960s, and it follows the main guy who is played by John Hamm. His name is Don, and he is one of the top executives in an advertising firm in New York City, and you just follow his life. I don't want to spoil much about him, but he's kind of a character that you want to hate, but you still love, and it's like kind of battle. But once again, this is kind of like Downton Abbey, where it's like set in like historical times. It's set in New York City during the 1960s, and it's a lot more about like social trends, like seeing these people go through different historical events and just seeing how they react to it, seeing how they change with the times. And I know that sounds kind of boring, but trust me, it's super interesting, and all the characters are really well played. So the next show I'm going to talk about is Game of Thrones. So it's definitely the most explicit show that I've ever watched in terms of sex and violence. So when I watched this, I was just like, whoa, how is this stuff like allowed on TV? But you know, it's HBO, it's cable, so it's definitely a lot more risque. It's basically what the title sounds like. It's just a bunch of people wanting power, playing the Game of Thrones. The most famous quote that the title is kind of based off of is by Cersei Lannister. She said, "You either play the Game of Thrones or you die." Dun, dun, dun. But yeah, once you get through the initial shock, I swear it is amazing. They are awesome acting as well, and plus they're all British, and I kind of wish I were British because I love their accents, but that's for another time. But this is definitely another good one to pull up a Wikipedia page for, but once you get to know all the characters, then it becomes so interesting. And the next show I'm going to talk about is The Walking Dead. So this is broadcasted off of AMC, and it's pretty much your good old survival of the fittest through the zombie apocalypse. And as for like in comparison to Downton Abbey and Mad Men, there's definitely not as much like depth and character development throughout the show, just because it's all about like slaying zombies and staying alive. But there are still some interesting themes going on through the show, like what do you do, or what's worth doing to stay alive, and how much of your humanity are you still able to retain throughout this like very brutal apocalyptic world. So it's really like just like on the edge of your seat type of show, and lots of action, lots and lots of gore. So if you can't handle that, then I wouldn't recommend this show, but I really hope you can like bear through it, because the plot is awesome. The weakest season is considered to be season 2, but besides that, all the other seasons have been awesome. They currently just started season 5. Oh my gosh, amazing. And season 4 was considered to be another slower season, but they focused more on character development and like deeper themes, which I really enjoyed, but it was kind of a mixed bag for everyone else. Besides that, some more solid acting. I'm going to jump into another comedy. So I'm going to say Modern Family is definitely one of the best like major network comedies out there right now. It's broadcasted by ABC, and it's been nominated for many Golden Globes and Emmy Awards, and deservingly so. Like seriously, it's a laugh out loud episode, every episode, just like it was for Friends. I mean, all the comedies that I'm going to talk about are pretty much like that, but if you notice, like some shows, I feel like How I Met Your Mother and The Big Bang Theory, like they're funny, but it's like kind of sparingly so. But for Modern Family, it's like every single episode I always find a reason to laugh, and the characters are so endearing. The last comedy that I'm going to talk about is Parks and Recreation, so another major network show. But yeah, this is such a good comedy. I have to admit, when I first watched a couple of episodes, like on and off on TV, I was like, what is this? I do not understand what's going on. But once I really got into it, once I started from the beginning, I just got addicted to it and it just fell into the show. And yeah, I have to say, like, the first season is a bit iffy, so if you do watch it, just watch it for the context and for like just getting to know the characters. If not, if you like watch the first episode and you're just like, no, just like skip to the second season and wiki the first season, just because it's definitely their weakest season. But after that, it's all just golden. So definitely, like, every single character in the show is amazing. Leslie, Ron, Swanson, April, Tom, Donna, Andy, Anne, Ben, and Chris, they're all amazing. They all bring their own little comedy into the show. And it's a bit of an acquired taste, I'm not gonna lie, but if you get into it, then you will definitely fall in love with all the characters. Okay, House of Cards. So this is a Netflix show, and I literally got so obsessed with this. It's a political thriller, and it's not like, when you hear thriller, you might think like horror movie, like that kind of thriller. Like, no, this is political. It's pretty much a guy being badass at politics in Washington, D.C. So he starts as the major whip in Congress, and then eventually he pretty much just like is super cunning and like super manipulative to like claw his way up through the political ladder. And it's so interesting just to like what is he gonna do next? And it's like kind of mind-blowing how smart he is too. He's like kind of the Sherlock of politics, pretty much. But I've gotta say, this is another one that's like an acquired taste. I have two friends who I tried to get watching it. They said it was a little bit too slow for them, but then I also got another friend to watch it and he got obsessed. So this might be a little bit more targeted to guys, like if you compare it to something like Scandal, which is also like kind of like a political show, but I think it's amazing. Also one of the best TV power couples of life, who are played by Kevin Spacey and Robin Wright. Amazing. It's just like they're so, you love them, but they're so like kind of dark and evil and super smart. It's crazy. The last one is Orphan Black. So this is actually a Canadian show, but it is broadcasted through BBC America. Pretty much the premise of the story is that this woman begins to discover that she is a clone, and the whole show is about like figuring out where she came from, like how she was made, like, and pretty much people are after her for various reasons, and it's super intense. The first season, there's only like 2 out so far, but the first season is definitely the best one so far out of the 2, but it's still an amazing show. Great acting by Tatiana Maslany. She plays a clone, and pretty much she has to play every single different person. So I think there are probably like maybe 5 to 10 different people she has to play, and she does every single one like impeccably. Anyways, awesome show. It's a little bit more obscure, but definitely worth it. So I hope my video helped you guys get a few more ideas as to which TV shows you should start watching. If you want a few more TV shows to check out, I also included a list of 4 honorary mentions, which is also a mix of more drama and comedy shows. So yeah, happy TV watching, and let me know which shows you end up really liking. So I'll see you guys later. Bye!